James Grande, DFS Playbook live here. James, it is 9 a.m. in the morning. You and I are live, not 5 o'clock, live at 9 a.m. Why is that, you may be asking? Well, we have a main slate today starting at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. No real evening games here today, so James and I decided, you know what, we'll forego the podcast and we'll just come live to you guys early here in the morning. May 4th, James, Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. Get that little joke out of the way. It's here. And I'm ready to talk some baseball. We got the return of Justin Verlander here today for the New York Mets. After that big contract, he's injured during spring training, making his debut here. The surprise IL, like nobody knew what was going on. Opening day, he's like, oh no, injury list, and he's missed 2 months. So Verlander making his debut here for the Mets today, going up against the Detroit Tigers. Kind of like the top story, I think, of today's slate.
Yeah, I mean, the top story is you just dropping the May the 4th be with you before I even got a word in today. Like, that was impressive. I'm very proud of you.
I'm just trying to beat you to everything right now, you know?
Well, you will, because I have yet to have. I've had one sip of coffee this morning, so also not a big Star Wars guy, so might have not.
I've never seen a Star Wars movie. So
yeah, okay, so
I'm right there. I'm right there. I'm glad that only a couple of people are starting to roll in here, so they didn't hear the blasphemy that I just mentioned. But I've made that comment a few times before, going on Sirius XM with Howard Bender, Jim Bowden. They make a reference. I'm like, yeah, I never saw Star Wars. I still haven't seen Star Wars. My knowledge of Star Wars is all pop culture. Like, I have an understanding of what went on in Star Wars due to clips and references and all that, but I've never sat down and watched an entire Star Wars movie in my life. So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
I've probably played more Star Wars on PS2 than I have seen of the movies.
Right, Star Wars, great video games.
Great video,
you're right.
Good video.
I played the Star Wars Racer, I think it was on the old Xbox way back in the day. But that was that's it. That's my Star Wars trilogy or whatever they call it. That's it. That's all I got.
I don't even know how many there are.
It was 9. They have them out of order. How am I supposed to follow that? They don't hold a candle to the Fast and Furious series. That's all I'll say.
That's
that franchise is going on. It's 10th or 11th movie. Boy. Fantastic cast. I'd rather sit down and watch a nice, fun, family-filled movie like the Fast and Furious franchise over Star Wars. But before we start losing viewers on today's stream, why don't we talk a little baseball?
So 9 games today. We can hit the some Vegas lines first. Jameson Taillon and the Chicago Cubs checking in at a -205 favorite over the Washington Nationals. That's the third game of that series. Zach Eflin, first main slate we've had with Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay this week, John.
Yep.
Fun series going on there. -195 is Tampa at home against Pittsburgh. Jack Flaherty -140 favorites at home against the Angels. Grayson Rodriguez -175 against Jordan Lyles, everyone's favorite home run target in Kansas City. That series has been fun until yesterday. KC's been scoring runs this series.
We said it at some point that lineup would wake up here, so just happened to wake up.
We have Seattle as the biggest favorites on the board. John, George Kirby actually on this slate can
That's
go
good.
up. They are the biggest favorites on the board.
Hey, listen, Logan Gilbert pitched well last night. I'm sure George Kirby would have been just as well.
-250, -260 actually on DraftKings Sportsbook. And then
did you mention that's Patrick Corbin Day?
It is. Happy Patrick Corbin Day to you and everyone that celebrates. That is and happy birthday to your fiance that you just John before. We hopped on air.
Shout out to Rebecca there.
Soon to be wife.
Never have to forget her birthday because it's May 4th. May the 4th be with you.
Is Rebecca a Star Wars fan?
Nope.
Perfect.
Nope.
Perfect.
Never seen the movie.
It was meant to be.
Yep.
So let's head over to. It is a Coors Field Day as well, so we have a lot of holidays going on.
May the 4th,
Patrick Corbin Day.
And I'll tell you this: we played the Cubs the last 2 nights. Hasn't worked out. Tonight's the night, though. This
today's
afternoon.
today's the day.
Today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
today's the day.
today's the day.
Yeah, for
Come through
sure.
for us. Yeah, big fan.
That game has a 9 over under. Couple sports books have it 8.5, but it opened at 9. Still 9 over at Caesars. Let's see where else we got 9 in LA, St. Louis. That's across all sports books. We have 9 opened at 9.5 in Baltimore, Kansas City. That's at 9 currently. The over though, John, minus 120 favorite at 9 runs. So a lot of runs projected in Kansas City and Baltimore. Doesn't surprise me with Jordan Lyles pitching again. Now, I think, John, before we get into like the full breakdown, Coors has really let us down over the last 2 slates. And it's mainly been Milwaukee. Colorado did have a pretty good showing on Tuesday or Wednesday night, but it was like on the back of a Trejo double, 3 runs scored, and then a Chris Bryant 2-run home run. So unless you had those 2 guys, like, and let's be honest, Tuesday slate or Wednesday slate in general stunk.
Yeah.
Stunk. Like there was not a lot of runs scored last night.
Play the Red Sox. 8 runs.
Yeah, if you played the Red Sox, you were happy. If not, you were sad.
Word to the wise. I think Alek Manoah is not very good this year.
Yeah, he was not great. But like initial thoughts, because you and I are, this is usually our first look podcast.
It's our first look podcast, yeah.
So now it is our first look live stream. Like, what do you make of Milwaukee, Colorado? Like, it has again largely let us down, but again, it's Coors. It's a 12-run total.
Milwaukee today.
Same.
Lefty bats. Connor Siebold on the mound for Colorado.
Yep.
Today's the day. Right. This is the spot. Wade Miley. We talked about Miley. He had some underlying numbers that could start coming through for him. Didn't happen against LA. Nope. He did allow 7 hits though.
Granted, all of them.
They just were not able to cash in really on anything there. But again, if you go look at some of the underlying numbers on Miley, like there's some indication a blowout could be coming. Could it happen in Coors? Probably no better spot. Some guys in that lineup do hit lefties, as we've talked about. I am just more inclined today to go the Milwaukee side. Get those lefty bats in your lineup against Connor Siebold here.
I agree.
And we'll break down lineups. We'll talk about matchups and everything like that. But that's just my outlook.
Yeah, especially when as they come in too. Like we're currently, it's 9:08. We don't have any lineups out yet.
Yeah.
So when the lineups start rolling in, we'll break that down too.
Yep, 100% here. All right, so let's get into it. Pitching position here. Are you paying the 10-8 for Verlander in his debut? I mean, listen, great matchup against Detroit. And Verlander is one of those old school guys that will refuse to come out of games, like he'll throw 110. But his most recent rehab outing, he only got him to 69 pitches. Nice. So like, do we trust that he's going to be extended that far? It's a big price tag for a guy that could throw 5 innings,
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. And we've talked about this on the last couple slates. We've had guys that have been limited, like 2 slates ago was Tony Gonsolin. Like, do we play Tony Gonsolin? How we doing? Any win? What's up? She squealed. Hey, any wins last night?
We did have some wins in the Discord. Go check them out.
Yeah, big wins in the Fantasy Alarm Discord. John's playbook was riddled with Red Sox. So and Shane Bieber was the cover. He spanned 8 innings last night. So lots of good stuff going on in the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS scene for us, John. But like back to the Verlander question. It's like 2 nights ago it was Tony Gonsolin, right? And he was limited, and then and it was Matt Strahm, I think, the same night. He was also limited. Verlander, like, what is the upside of Justin Verlander at 10-8? Like, we can.
It all depends on how far he goes. I mean, like, if we get Verlander of last year and he goes 7 innings, he's giving up an earned run. He's probably striking out 6, and you're going to get 25 fantasy points here. But
no, there's just going to be a limit. There's just no way we see more than 80 pitches. I refuse to believe it.
I would not assume so. He threw 69 pitches. He went 4 2/3 scoreless in that AA rehab start. It was AA. I agree with you. I don't think we're gonna get that. So He went back to back 4 2/3 game. He's just like dominating double-A rehab cards. So,
I mean, right.
but he only threw 69 pitches in both of those outings. So, I mean, maybe he's good to go for 90. I mean, it is
If he
Justin
throws
Verlander.
80 pitches, is there a case to be like unless it's 90 pitches for me, 10-8, I'm not getting there.
I mean, we saw Bryce Miller go 80 pitches and 6 shutout, and they pulled him the other day. So, like, if Verlander could go 6 shutout against Detroit in 80 pitches, that's not out of the realm. It's just 10-8. Do you want to spend that kind of money on a core slate, on a Corbin slate? You know, where on a Corbin slate where there's a lot of unknown on Verlander here.
On a Corsbin? On a Corsbin slate?
Corbin slate. That's that will work when Corbin is in Coors.
Right. Oh God. Here's the thing though. The Bryce Miller was $4,000.
I was just saying that, like, we saw Miller get through 6 innings shutout with 80 pitches. Verlander is very capable of doing so. I mean, he was going 5 innings through 69 pitches. So, sure, could do it. I don't think I'm spending 10-8 for it. If he goes out and throws 100, you know what? Then good on Verlander. Guy's just an absolute monster. So, play him in your GPP tournaments. If you're playing single entries, I'm probably not on Verlander here today. Personally,
happy to see him back
because of the risk. But yeah, glad to see him back. Add another good pitcher into this rotation for us to get exposure to when it comes to the DFS.
Good for my FSGA team.
Yeah, sure. Below them, though, we got Pablo Lopez coming off of just 2 back-to-back shellings against Washington and Kansas City, no less. 11 earned runs in his last 2 outings here. I don't know what's happening. He did face the White Sox already this season and absolutely dominated them. 7 2/3, 10 strikeouts. We've talked a lot about this White Sox lineup lately. Not all that potent. But current form Lopez does not feel like a $9,900 pitcher. So I do worry a little bit about that. You and I have talked a lot about Zach Eflin and sort of like how far in games he goes. Well, 74 pitches, 5 innings his last start again. He's only capped out at 82. Yeah. Can you pay $9,100 against a Pirates offense for a guy that's going to go 80 pitches? Probably not. So, I mean, is it crazy to say that, like, I start my pitching with George Kirby today and find the next guy?
Nope. It's not. I will say I 100% agree on Eflin. You and I had this debate last time. It's like too expensive for a guy not throwing pitches again. I will say this about Pablo Lopez. Looking at some numbers here, John. So here are his BABIPs the last 2 games, okay?
700.
He had against Washington a 615 BABIP. His expected his FIP was 336 to an 11 ERA. His BABIP against the Royals was 389. Expected FIP 369. Like, just kind of running into some bad luck. The K
we do know those pesky Washington Nationals, man. Just single after single after single, you know.
So I will potentially go back to the well with Pablo Lopez because we saw what he could do.
The strikeouts were nice. 6 Ks in 4 innings, 7 Ks in 6 innings.
We always say it about DraftKings, right? Like, you need strikeout upside. Like, Shane Bieber went 8, and that was great last night. But, like, 4 strikeouts, dude. What's happened? Like, the one thing that Pablo Lopez hasn't wavered from is strikeouts. Like, even in these.
Pablo Lopez against the Nationals allowed 5 runs on 8 hits and only gave up 3 fly balls.
It's just like, bad luck, dude. That's just
that is for sure just bad luck. Kansas City did give up 8 fly balls, 6 earned there. 1 home run allowed. I don't know if the home run was only a solo there. So, you know, maybe to your point, a little positive regression in his favor here. So, guys was one of the best pitchers in the league to start the season. So, sure. That's fine. If you've flipped me early here, looking at Lopez at $9,900 and then Kirby at 88, the top 2 guys I think for me. If we're going in the middle range, though, is there any appeal to you here? Anyone just sort of sticking out? I don't really care for a lot of here. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Grayson Rodriguez is really intriguing. And the only thing that it would deter me from Grayson Rodriguez is how many pitches he's throwing. It. This is like Blake Snell territory. He's throwing 5 innings and throwing 90 pitches a start.
And my problem with that is that like he's also not really walking a ton
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
just
So like he's
deep
just going
counts.
3-2
I know.
counts, just deep counts every time. So
But conversely, the strikeouts have looked excellent, and that's what he profiled at like his whole career, his short stints
yeah.
in the minors. Like he struck out a lot of guys, and now in 5 starts, he has no less than 5 strikeouts, and in the last 4, it's 6-8, 6-9.
Mhm.
Yes, very favorable matchups in each of
I
those
was gonna
games.
say, yeah, I mean, Kansas City, as you
His
mentioned, the last couple of games have been putting up runs.
fifth highest strikeout rate against righties this year, 25.2%. And they have been
Mhm.
better. And you and I have talked about it. Like Pasquantino is a very good player. He's breaking out.
Yeah.
Salvi, very good player. He's
Yeah.
breaking out.
Melendez home run the other day. Bobby Witt home run the other day.
Like they're coming around. But still, even with
After them, though, there's nobody in the lineup.
nobody, and
So
they're 30th in every category against righties. They're 30th in OPS, they're 30th in WOBA. They have the fifth highest strikeout rate. They're not walking. Like it lines up pretty well for Grayson Rodriguez, 8,300. So like because we don't have like a clear spend up, like if you went Kirby Rodriguez today, you have $4,000 a player for the rest of
right.
your lineup. Which we're gonna get to Coors and Patrick Corbin. There's gonna be expensive plays there. That feels pretty good. So I think of this tier for me, it's Grayson Rodriguez. But today I'm obviously I'm gonna make sure I get the Pirates hype video for Vince Velasquez out there on my Twitter because the guy has been. I mean, look at this guy. Look at this guy, including a start in course. Look at this guy, John.
Is it for real? Are we going up against Tampa Bay though with
No,
Vince
I
Velasquez?
just wanted to point out that he has been this good,
Okay.
and it still looks
I
like
mean,
Dave Bautista.
tournaments,
Sure.
sure. Listen, Pittsburgh's hilariously one of the best teams right now in baseball. Um, Part of that is because Vince Velasquez is going out there and throwing shutout balls.
Yeah.
So, um, I mean, he shut out St. Louis. We talked about how pesky Washington can be. No runs allowed there. Cincinnati, two hits allowed, only 10 Ks. Quality start in Colorado. I wouldn't blame anybody for pitching Vince Velasquez here. It's
I'm about
just
to pull up the hype video, John.
yeah, you can pull up the hype video. I'm gonna pull up the data here on the Rays and just kind of see if they've. I feel like they've come down a little bit from how they started offensively here. Let's see, Rays right-handed pitching. Let's go. Last 2 weeks here. Last 2 weeks against righties. Tampa Bay last 2 weeks against right. Here we go. All right, James, ready?
Let's go. Let's
Last
go.
2 weeks. Last 2 weeks against right-handed pitching. Tampa Bay, 27.4% strikeout rate. Fourth highest
Oh, dude.
strikeout rate, but it is coming with a 490 slug, an 820 OPS, a 226 ISO. So, a lot of power coming from this Tampa Bay offense. But strikeout rate is up there. Verlander matchup, Detroit 28% strikeout rate and 099 ISO there. And then Oakland, Seattle just dueling for worst, 31 and 33% strikeout rates. Both of them around a 200 average, just terrible there. But we don't we love Kirby. Kirby's locked in. I don't know where else we would go
What do you think
here.
Kirby's? What do you think Kirby's rostership is? What's his name? Last night was like 50%.
Yeah, he was 60% in the 23 max.
Yeah,
So
he was like 50% in the the $4.20 max, and that's a lot. I mean,
yeah,
he's gonna be 60% owned today. 60% owned today.
I would probably agree with that. So, yeah, if you want to go Velasquez, fine. Just know there's just a lot of power coming from Tampa Bay. There's not really a lot else. I mean, Minnesota's been striking out. I don't really want to pitch Giolito, but he did go against them already. 6 innings, 107 Ks.
He's been better.
He's been
Other
okay.
than a start in Tampa, he's been pretty good.
Right. Tampa's been a tough team. Pittsburgh, I mean, lit him up. Two bad starts against two teams that are on the road for him.
Right.
Pitched really
And he
well.
actually pitched well. He ran it back with Tampa in the following start and only allowed 2 earned. Like,
yeah, 2 home starts this year, 2 earned 12 Ks, 2 innings, 2 earned 12 innings, 13 Ks. So
Minnesota,
would you go to
Minnesota,
the Alito today?
maybe.
Again, we're looking for just like a mid-tier play. So
Yeah, I like the price. Minnesota, you mentioned, strikes out 25.1% strikeout rate against righties this year. 7,400 is a good price.
It's not bad,
Yeah.
right? Because I don't think we're going anywhere else here. We're not going Canning. I don't think
He's okay. St. Louis has not been good, dude. They are not what they were. That's the only that I'll say that. This year against righties, 16th, like in OPS, they're fine.
Yeah.
They're gonna break out.
Yeah. The numbers aren't great for them. 287 on base percentage against righties.
Yeah, I mean, and everything else down here is.
Yeah. Yep, I agree with you. So we'll see what we can put together here. I'm just going to click in Kirby now.
Yeah,
we'll move our way through. Catcher spot here. Again, a lot of top price guys we can look at. Rutschman. I mean, Lyles has been terrible. Rutschman's right up there. Sean Murphy gets lefty. Though we like. I kind of don't mind Luzardo. I don't know if I'm going up against Atlanta with Luzardo, but he's okay. So I don't know if I want to like stack players against them necessarily.
I like Luzardo, but then you look at what Atlanta's done against lefties this year.
Yeah.
And it's scary. 898 team OPS, that's second in the league, only behind Tampa. 532 slug, 234. So, yeah, like
last 2 weeks, 626 lefties.
Yeah, no thanks. Like, and it's one of those spots where I'm okay with like not going to Atlanta all that much because we respect Luzardo, and could he put a good performance together? Sure. But it could be scrappy where Luzardo doesn't score well and the Braves don't score well. And I like the Braves are a good contrarian stack today. Like away from Coors, away from Cubs. I think that's fine, but I don't know how much interest I have.
Yep. Salvi, we can continue to go to here. Cal Raleigh, I don't mind for some power. Elias Diaz gets another lefty matchup for him. Only today, he's 3,900. Yesterday, he was 4,500.
Right.
No reason for a price drop, really, outside of, I guess, the pitcher. Like, Miley's pitching better, but he went 2 for 4 again. He's 2 for 4 for 3 straight games here. So you're giving me Elias Diaz at 3,900 in the mid-tier here. That feels pretty
easy,
pretty solid to do.
Yep, agreed. That's the best catcher play of the day.
Yeah, I'm looking like I don't see another catcher play on the board that I want. So I'm just gonna double tap here Elias Diaz, and we'll just move on to first.
I would possibly play Francisco Alvarez, who's looked better for the Mets if he's in the lineup. Didn't play yesterday. Well, did they get rained out both games? No, they lost both yesterday. Alvarez has looked better. I know Erod has also actually kind of looked better. Had that no going for a while.
Yeah.
So I like Francisco Alvarez 2,300 if you're punting the position.
Okay.
And also, I don't know what the Cubs are gonna do. They placed Yan Gomes on IL, so they called Miguel Amaya up from AA. He had 1,000 OPS at AA this year with 4 home runs. It's a righty-lefty split, John. He is min salary.
You get Corbin.
So Miguel Amaya, 2K. If he is in the lineup, would you have any interest?
Depends where he hits. I guess he probably hits 9th, though, right?
I would assume he's just hitting 9th. Like
if I absolutely need the money, fine, because we're going to be looking to play some Cubs. So
sure.
All right.
Also, She Squealed mentioned Cal Raleigh. Just really hard to get to the Seattle team. I know they had a couple home runs on Wednesday, but it's just very hard to get to them right now.
Yeah, there's just a lot of power there. You're looking for home runs, right? You're looking for the home run upside. Yep. It's there. First base you mean Pete Alonso gets against Erod at 55. Rowdy Telez at up to 5K against Siebel, Crone 49 against Miley. Still can ride Mountcastle here if you wanted 48. It's your kind of top guys here.
Is it okay if I just I don't know. I think it's just Rowdy for me.
Yeah.
Alonso, we like Alonso against a lefty. We have that going for us. Let's see. Against lefties this year, Pete Alonso, 308 average, 5 home runs, 468 WOBA.
Yeah.
But dude, Erod has limited damage so well this year.
Yeah.
Righty's hitting 208, lefty's hitting 148 against him. Like,
well, he had that weird thing where he just like disappeared last year.
Yeah, he did just disappear.
I mean, yeah, look, you're looking at his last 4 starts here, just 2 total earned runs during that. 2 against Baltimore, Cleveland, 1 against Toronto for matchups. Strikeout's super inconsistent. But yeah, listen, they've give you 27 fantasy points without getting a win against Baltimore. So that's pretty solid there. I don't think I'm going to pitch.
No, the Mets are good against lefties. I'm just stating, like, other than Rowdy, that would be like the first direction I'd go at, above 5K, but also not, because Erod's been so good at limiting damage. Maybe it's just a one-off situation for Alonso if you're playing him.
Okay. Brandon Drury homered up for righty last night. That was just we play him versus lefty, homers versus righty. It happens.
But he's been nails. To be fair, he's been nails against lefties over the last 2 weeks. So I can't really complain. I'm just happy Brandon Drury's coming through. That's really what it comes down to.
No doubt about it, man. Trey Mancini's at 2,500, probably. Pasquantino at 36, even though you kind of like Grayson a little bit.
Yeah, man, I like Grayson, but that doesn't mean Pasquantino, who has 2 3-hit games over his last 3. He's
homered.
Yeah, and he homered. Like, dude, this guy is elite. Like, he is an elite player for a long time. Remember when they had Mike Sweeney, and Mike Sweeney just hit 300 every year playing first base? That's what Vinny Pasquantino is going to do. He's going to hit 300 every year. And then 20 years from now, we're going to be like, wow, Mike Sweeney was pretty good. Vinny Pasquantino was pretty good.
Just a 290, 25 homer guy for his career. So
yeah, I mean, Pasquantino is, if you're not playing Grayson Rodriguez, I think is perfectly fine. Also, I do wanna just go back up to. I don't know if you mentioned Mountcastle.
I did.
But
okay. I said Lyles has been so bad. So
yeah, he has allowed 7 home runs in his last 3 starts, and we know that's what Mountcastle does. Home run hitting. Jordan Lyles allows the home runs to be hit. Perfect marriage.
No, I said the guys that me for the top were Olsen, Rowdy, Crone, and Mountcastle.
Okay.
Pasquantino in the mid tier, then Trey Mancini down at $2,500 against Patrick Corbin here. So another 2 hits for Trey Mancini last night. We talked about sort of how they're doing that batting order. I'm hoping Wisdom isn't hitting 8th again today, but we'll find out. But Mancini for me, pretty solid insert for a Cubs stack.
Yeah, I think I liked him last night, and that obviously worked out really well for me. So I'm just gonna go right back to the well here, John.
Yeah, 2 hits. Can't argue with the 2 hits there at his price. So I'm with you there. He likes Olsen. Listen, Olsen's fine. It's a lefty matchup, but he hits lefties. So totally okay going there. Second base position here. Nico Horner's 5,100 again. He was 0 for 2 at a run, a walk, and a stolen base last night. Got you 11 fantasy points, but 11 fantasy points not really what you need at a $5,100 price tag. So it's probably a no for me. Brandon Lau, we love for the power, but we talked about Velasquez and just how well he's been pitching. So I don't know if they get there or not. Luis Urias, is he coming back?
No.
We just haven't seen Miami on a main slate in a long time.
No, we have not. They have had those 640 starts, and
the man, did he win the batting title last year?
He has. I think McNeil won in the NL. Did he win for the Twins? He won the batting title in the AL.
Yeah, well, he's hitting 430 still.
Yeah, no. Didn't I ask you yesterday? Is Luis Urias just going to hit 400 this year? Is that what's just going to happen?
The problem is he doesn't do anything else.
But he hits. We poke fun at singles hitters. Dude, he just hit 3 of them a night. It's
I
not
think
even
Nico
just
Horner has more extra base hits. He does. Nico Horner has more extra base hits than
I mean,
Luis
that is
Robert.
saying a lot. That is saying quite a
Yeah.
bit.
$4,400 against a lefty for Urias. So he is a lefty. So I don't know. Well, I guess he just hits everybody if you're hitting 430,
Dude,
right?
he's
So,
hitting everybody.
Ozzy Albies
Yeah,
is
as a lefty.
there against the lefty at $4,100. 324, 1,200, 811 slug, 4 homers his last 10 games. This is the split matchup we like. He's homered in back-to-back spots. So definitely a lot to like here about Albies. It's just that Luzardo is a pretty talented pitcher. So, if you hit the right day with him, you're not going to be able to touch him. But it feels like you mentioned Atlanta just smoking lefties. And Luzardo's been touched up a bit lately. So, Albies probably fits the bill for us there. Nolan Gorman homered yesterday. I know you've been a fan of Gorman's this year. He's $4,300. Let's see. Working our way down here. Anybody?
Yeah, Albies against lefties this year, insane once again.
Yeah. What's his
Like
number?
literally,
You got
419 average, 4 home runs, 524 WOBA.
Yeah.
Righties do have a 334 WOBA against Luzardo, so like you said, not untouchable.
Not untouchable. Yeah. I think we're probably going to go to Albies here. Ramon Urias, again, better numbers against righties and lefties. Didn't come through for us last night. Nobody in Baltimore did. But Jordan Lyles, I'd be willing just to kind of run it back and see if they can be shut down 2 nights in a row. I don't see it likely happening here. So $3,300 for Urias as a value play. Let's see. I mean,
how about some Jaquan Bay, John, who has now this dude has now stolen 8 bases over his last 10 games. He has
seems good.
Dude, he has 13 on the year, and he started the year like kind of in and out of the lineup. If he gets on base, he's going. Like, he's just going. This is like Jorge Mateo early in the season. Every single time he got on base, he ran.
Sure. Yeah, he had back-to-back games there where he had 5 Dodgers series. He had not 5 each. He had 2 stolen bases, 3 stolen bases. Contributed to 20 and 30 fantasy point performances for him. So
just saying, throwing it out there.
That's fine. He's definitely in the player pool. Most of Pittsburgh's going to hilariously be in the player pool probably today. So Urias is there. I mean, would you play Terang?
Yeah, I was just looking at Terang. It's going to be popular. What we talked about it on Wednesday. It's like the value drops off, and we don't have Emmanuel Valdez to play tonight. Who went
sadly, I know.
Points. So you look at this tier, and you're just like, it's probably Terang in cores if you get lucky. But to that point, like we talked about it last night, right? Everybody played Owen Miller, and Owen Miller did literally nothing.
He had a point. Didn't he have 6 points?
6 points. Who's the other second baseman they start? Brousseau. Brousseau didn't do anything.
Brousseau didn't do anything. Yeah.
It's like these guys are like extremely popular, but they're like not great baseball players. So
Golden Wong is coming out live a little bit. Hits in 4 or 5, 2 multi-hit games.
Yeah. He's a.
I mean, what is Rosinski here, right? Like it's, at some point Seattle's offense has to get it. Eugenio Suarez homered last night. We did have Suarez in the playbook last night. He was like the lone Mariner, so I don't think anybody won off Suarez, but if you did, you got the home run. So he hits lefties. That's just what it is. And listen, Golden Wong hasn't stolen any bases this year, but that's
because he's not on base. That's
what I'm saying, right? Like that can't remain. The guy will. He has like 20 stolen base potential. So like, I don't know. All right, let's go to third here. Your guys at your top. You got Austin Riley, rest of lefty. We love that. Wisdom bumped up to $4,600 against Corbin.
Yes, sir.
I don't mind it.
That's the one. No, you don't mind it. That's the one. Wisdom against a lefty. He's going to be hitting in the middle of that lineup where, for whatever reason, he hits 8th against righties. Like 389 WOBA against left-handed pitching this year. 4 home runs. Patrick Corbin this year against righties. 336 average allowed, 920 OPS, 395 WOBA. Give me Patrick Wisdom or give me death.
Checking out. Wisdom just over 3 against Corbin. Not like a great sample size there. Anyways, anybody have good BVP here? Dansby Swanson's got the most at bats, but it's not good. 250 batting average, 730 OPS.
Nico Horner 4 for 4.
Yeah, Nico Horner's 4 for 4. Mancini's 4 for 11. Kind of goes back to that play, but those are very small sample sizes. So we're not big sample size people anyway. So Brian Anderson against Seabold, I'm fine. Again, talk about him. He actually hits righties a little bit better. At some point, Gunnar Anderson, right? Some point has to, maybe at some point.
Feels like a good spot for him. I mean, look, the one thing we know, he'll get on base. He'll be on base at least once in a game because he just has a massive on base percentage. He walks a ton.
He feels like 357 on base to not get to like
hitting 182.
He's got 20 walks.
Yeah, no, he gets on base so much. It's not because of his bat.
Let's see here.
Eugenio is 3,600.
Yeah, he's facing a righty though.
I know, but
I'm out.
I'm out. That sounded like very Shark Tanky of you.
I was ready to do Beatty.
For those reasons, I am
lefty
out.
Versus lefty versus lefty. Yeah. I don't see anybody else down there.
That's because that does not exist. I don't think there's anyone.
Yeah, John Zagora is 2,900.
You have fun playing John Segura. You can have fun playing John Segura. I will take
I'm not. First of all, nobody's having fun playing John Segura.
That is fair.
All right, shortstop here. When does Yoan Moncada come back? Just curious. Close to rehabbing. Great. Hell yeah, Ice Drew. Great content yesterday. Let's crush it. Minnesota sack. Listen. We're always in on an old Minnesota sack here. All right. We kind of talked up Giolito a little bit though, but Kepler, Gallo.
So do you want to hear the splits against Giolito? Just
sure.
So lefties are not the strong split against Giolito. It's been the right-handed bats. 289 average for righties, 800 OPS, 350 WOBA. Lefties only a 650 OPS, 280 WOBA. So it's been righty dominant. We're at third. Jose Miranda's projected to be in their lineup. They're projecting only like 4 righties: Correa, Buxton, Miranda. But Miranda's such a
I could 2-stack Correa and Buxton. I am not playing Jose.
Yeah, he's such a zero. But like Correa's been a zero against righties this year.
Miranda hit I think he hit 30 home runs during one of the minor league seasons like that. They liked him for power, but he hasn't shown any power.
No, he hasn't.
All right, shortstop position here. Wander, 6,200, caught a little flack for his final out yesterday. I don't know if you saw the ball flip.
I did. What's your take on the ball flip? I love it.
If he dropped it, people would crucify him. But he's Wander Franco, and he didn't drop it, so fine. I'm sure he got in the dugout, and they told him to never do it again. So that's fine. But ballsy to do it during the middle of the game there. So,
Michael Taylor wraparound for their twin stack. I mean, you just want to throw money away. It's all good.
Listen,
I'm just kidding.
I used to play Michael Taylor versus lefties a lot.
So did I.
There's still power there. That Nationals outfield that could have been right. Taylor, Robles. There's like another guy that was mixed in there as well. Like they kept on having these like outfield prospects come up and just nobody. They never really panned out. It's never really happened. That Harper kid was okay, but other than that, all right. Adames.
Yes.
Adames.
Yes, we're going back to the well. Back to the well. I don't care that he's 5 for his last 33, John. I don't care.
I
do. I really do. It's been really bad.
But if you don't play him today in the final game of Coors and he homers, you're gonna kick yourself.
Yeah, look. What do we know? He's going to be popular once again, right? Like Chorus is going to be popular again, despite what's happened the last two slates. They're going to be popular. They hit righties extremely well. John and I were talking about this the other day. Like, when did Milwaukee get to 18 and 12? Like, are winning games because they're hitting right-handed. They're not winning games when they face lefties. That does not happen. They all have good numbers against righties. And Adames has
their righties have good numbers against righties. Their lefties obviously have good numbers against righties. So
yeah. I think Adames is worth the price. I understand he's been really bad, but Connor Siebold, conversely, has also been really bad this year against both splits.
Mateo didn't have a good night last night again. Nobody in Baltimore hit. Could run it back with him against Lyles. Sure. Tim Anderson had a really good game. Second game return for him, 3 for 4. I don't know if we're going at Lopez or not here. I know we discussed thinking maybe Lopez could be in a get back spot here for him. We know Bobby Witt, Dansby against a lefty, as we talked about. He's got a good sample size against Corbin here. Lindor gets the lefty matchup. Where are you? The shortstop kind of feels like it falls off pretty quickly here. Where are you looking at? Is it just you just plugging Adames and moving on?
I mean, I like Adames. I can definitely get back to Mateo. I think anyone in the lineup, anyone with a pulse against Jordan Lyles can homer. Just given the fly ball rates for him.
We lost our guy Nato to a finger contusion.
Yeah, I saw he left Wednesday's game. That was brutal. I don't hate Tommy Edman if he's leading off, but if he's hitting ninth again, that stings. We could play Gunner.
He only leads off against lefties.
Yeah, so. It stinks. We could play Gunner at short as well. I do like that little wrinkle that they've given us, the short third base eligibility. I would go Vaughn Grissom. I know he's been kind of bad, but he gets the lefty. There's still stolen base equity in there. Talk about stolen base. John Birdie hitting 308 his last 10 games. He gets the lefty. And then it's, what do we do with we have 2 Rocky shortstops, one of which had 3 ribbies, 2 hits last night, and Alan Trejo. And then Tovar had a base hit and got thrown out trying to steal a bag. So what could have been there? It could have been 8 fantasy points instead of 3.
Yeah. They don't hit in good spots in that lineup. That's
they don't hit in good spots. They hit 8-9 yesterday. The only saving grace is the wraparound that potentially you have with them. Abrams maybe 2,300. He's been better. Tyone on the mound.
They also hit him ninth, but I mean
he's been pretty good. Tyone was also really good in his start prior to going the IL, but he was pretty bad the 2 starts prior. Tyone is a very inconsistent guy. I don't love Abrams, but I wouldn't mind it if that was like where you just ended up.
Yeah, I do. All right, let's go to outfield here. Get into what we big position. Acuna versus lefty. We've talked about it. The man's been a robot this year. 300, 1,200 OPS, almost a 700 slug his last 10, 3 homers, 3 stolen bases during that time. 6 homers and 14 stolen bases on the year. Homered yesterday, had a stolen base the day before that. I mean, there's a reason he's $6,500.
Yep. He should be $7K. Let's just put it out there. Make him the first $7K player and make it tough to get to.
Sure. If we're not going Ronald Acuna because of the cost, who's your number 2 outfielder for today?
Number 2 outfielder. I do like Julio Rodriguez. I don't think he's number 2, but he's up there. I like Buxton in this spot. We know, look, you play Buxton when he's healthy. You play Buxton during these streaks. John, Byron Buxton is running again.
Yeah.
He stolen bases in back-to-back games. And so now we have over his last 10 games. And this is kind of to Eister's point where he breaks out the question of Minnesota stack. You don't need to go Minnesota stack, but Byron Buxton won off 5 home runs, 2 stolen bases, 1,200 OPS over his last 10 games. If we're going to get that dual threat Buxton, he's as good of a fantasy asset as there is in the game when he's healthy.
Yeah. He's just 2 for 18 in his career against Giolito with 8 strikeouts. So
that's pretty brutal. He has been very good against righties this year, though.
Sure.
6 home runs, 286 average, 407 WOBA. And again, That is the split that's hurting Giolito this year. So I don't know if he's my second favorite up here, but he's really close. Like, I think, Chris Bryant kind of price drop after a home run yesterday. I
Yeah.
like that 52. I like the Cubs here. Ian Happ $5,000.
We're still not playing
Corbin.
Yelich, right? Just to confirm.
No. I mean, like,
he's not good.
Headache,
He's not good.
I could see a case for
Connor
Yelich.
Seabold's not good either. He's just
that's the thing. Like, I can see a case getting to Yelich. It's just like, dude, why is he $5,400? Like, that's the thing. Why? What? Give me one good reason he's 50. Is there any reason he's 54? Like, even Coors doesn't just make up for $5,400. Like, that's not even good enough for me.
Isn't homer in like 15 games? Like, I don't know. Like, I do remember when Yelich.
I don't. I don't.
It's a long time ago.
Maybe he needs to go to the Cubs because apparently that's where you just regain.
Maybe he needs to go talk to Ryan Braun and get some steroids, and become good again. Just throwing it out there, man. It helped.
Throw back to when Braun. Throw back to when Braun got his steroid test reversed and then retested positive for steroids.
Yeah, and they got that guy fired. Yeah. For like leaking his sample incorrectly. Got Aaron Rodgers to believe him that he wasn't on steroids. Remember that whole saga?
No, I don't. I didn't know there was an Aaron Rodgers time.
Oh yeah, there was a whole Aaron Rodgers component to all that. So
of course Aaron Rodgers is involved in it.
Of course. Josh Lowe's $4,700. He's been really good. Again, I don't know how much we're going against Vince Velasquez here.
He's the GOAT. You can't go against Philly. I was watching the hype video 10 minutes ago. I wasn't listening to it. I was just listening. He's getting me ready for the day.
Seiya and Wisdom are right there at 47 and 46 against Corbin.
Yep.
Kelenic, $4,400 against Rosinski here. That's probably feels like a decent spot for him. Basically the only Mariner hitting.
Yep.
Let's see. Where's our next go-to here?
I mentioned Brian Anderson, 41. He's for sure in play.
Yeah.
Melendez can catch outfield. I like that spot.
Yeah, Jack Sawinski, maybe?
Dude, he is so
good. 5 stolen bases in the last 10 games.
Yeah, he's been really good.
I know over his last 9, but I mean, like, power and speed combo.
Dude, he is just a good baseball player. He strikes out a lot, but he's a good baseball player. Look, John, I know Wade Miley's been really good, and we've talked about Reno Grishik a lot lately.
Yeah.
Once again, on base 3 times. Like, I know it was just 9 fantasy points, but like,
that's fine at 35. I mean, he's 39. He's 35 today. So
dude, him and Profar are gonna hit. I mean, I hated that Grishik was hitting 6th last night. Like, they should move him up immediately. Maybe switch him with Profar. Like, Profar, I don't know why he's hitting 2nd. I'm just gonna get to Grishik 35. Like, that's just kind of the spot that I'm getting to. Yeah, again, he's been so good against lefties his whole career.
Yeah, I mean, we got Diaz and Grishik in our lineup as it is. So I mean, like, there's a little stack going on there. Let's see here. Burleson's $3,200, but he's really just dropped.
Fell off a cliff. Yeah.
Brian De La Cruz has some power. Got a lefty spot.
Dude, why is Eloy 2,900? Like, what are we doing? He had another two hit game yesterday.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, what do we think of? Like, is Lopez in a good spot here? Tim Anderson had 3 hits. Lopez is heating up. I think Luis Robert had a 3-run home run yesterday.
Yeah, he did. I mean, look, I'm not saying, like, there is just things that are suggesting that Pablo Lopez had been extremely unlucky the last 2 games, right? Like, you mentioned it.
Bad luck could continue. So
that bad luck could continue. If you're not using Pablo Lopez, Eloy Jimenez at 2,900 is
free.
Stupid. That is stupid. That is stupid. He has been really good over this last stretch. Look, the only knock on Eloy Jimenez, like, thus far throughout his career is, like, the health. He just hasn't been able to stay healthy. Never once have we questioned Eloy Jimenez on the field. And now he has hits in 6 straight games, 2 multi-hit games over his last 3, RBIs in 4 straight games. Like, the dude is a monster. $2,900.
Does Nelson Velasquez enter the lineup today?
He hits lefties really well.
right?
He's
2,600 bucks.
yeah, he's that's your sneaky Cubs play of the day. He's gonna hit ninth, and there's a chance he gets just 3 at bats and then pinch hit for at the end of the game, a la Edwin Rios the other day
Yeah.
with the bases loaded. But he has homered 3 times in 10 games this year, and
Yeah.
one of them was a grand slam. He hits lefties. That's
Yeah.
what he's gonna be. He's gonna be in the lineup. He's gonna hit lefties. I could definitely get down with that.
And then Tyrone Taylor's 2,300 bucks. I know
He's been
got an
super
RBI,
chalk.
but
He's
yeah.
been super chalk. And I'll throw in, if you're not in on the Grayson Rodriguez train, John, I've been mentioning Nick Prado to you like
Yeah.
pretty much nightly. 3 hits last night. Hits in 5 of 6, 3 of which have been multi-hit games. He's first base outfield eligibility, $2,400. The Royals are kind of coming around.
I know.
Kind of. Like,
I've been saying it for weeks. Like, eventually this offense is too good. And yeah, if Nick Prado's hitting the way he's hitting right now, that just adds more depth down the line to that team. So maybe they go 5 deep now,
thoughts on Charlie Blackmon, she squealed asked.
Lefty matchup for, or no, yeah, lefty matchup for him, but could be okay.
He's hit lefties historically
Right?
fine.
I feel like he's handled himself pretty well.
He has been mediocre this year against lefties. It's a small samples, 27 at bats. He's hitting 259, but 340 WOBA. But Louis Miley, dude, against lefties, like just nothing.
Yeah.
207 average, 500 OPS. Like,
I think my last outfielder here, if Stowers is in the lineup again, I'll play him. 2,100 bucks. Going up against Jordan Lyles. He hit 5th. He had a hit yesterday, right?
He did have a hit. He did.
So, if he's
a lot of good value outfield today.
If he's sitting, yeah, it all depends on your stacks, right? So, before we build our lineups here, we got a little housekeeping to take care of here. James, you want to go ahead and give a little promo for what we got going on here on the show?
I will when I pull it up.
All right, well, I'll promote our all pro package while you pull it. I thought you already had it ready.
Okay.
I thought you were like good to go. All right.
No, I'm not. It's not. Listen, we haven't had full cups of coffee. Okay, like.
Well, that is true.
Well, like, we're not always. I mean, usually this 9 a.m. is a little early for us, John.
Yeah, 100. No arguments. No arguments here. The scroll at the bottom, right? All pro package right now. It's 50% off for the first 6 months, and we have a 7-day free trial now included as well. It's facealarm.com/all pro using promo code MLB50. It's $19.98 for the first 6 months after that 7-day free trial, and you get access to all of our content. It's not just MLB DFS. It is NHL, NBA throughout the rest of the playoffs here. PGA, which is going on right now. Great playbook being put up by Drew Phelps. I got 3 guys going right now. We're looking pretty solid. Thursday optimism. We love it. We love the Thursday optimism. 4 days ago left there. NASCAR, we have the 3-time Racing Writer of the Year in Matt Sells providing our NASCAR DFS content there. And then, of course, if you start counting out the months, this 6 month right now discount goes through the NFL season. So go ahead, facealarm.com/all pro. Use promo code MLB50. Get 7-day free trial included on that. Just $19.98 a month. James, to you, sir.
John, you know what season it is?
What season is it?
It's best ball season. Best ball season is here, and we are helping you draft your winning teams on Fantasy Alarm and the Better Sports Network. Check out the first best ball fantasy football draft featuring some of your top analysts like Howard Bender, Andrew Cooper, Brett Flynn, Corey Parsons, and more. Learn winning draft strategies and find out which players you need to have on your fantasy football teams this season. Get in the huddle and start drafting best ball teams of your own on Underdog Fantasy. Visit fantasyalarm.com/underdogfantasy and use promo code FANTASYALARM. That's promo code FANTASYALARM, one word, when signing up to receive a 100% deposit match up to $100. use promo code Fantasy Alarm, one word, Fantasy
I got the little
Alarm.
QR code button on the screen as well. If you got a QR code scanner on your phone, you can just scan that little code right there. Takes it right there. Yeah, we did the best ball draft on Monday. We're going to be doing best ball drafts weekly, and we're going to be increasing those best ball drafts here as we head towards the fantasy football season. So we have a best ball channel in our Discord. Part of that premium access you get with all pros. You got a premium Discord. James and I are in there. Andrew Cooper's in there. Howard Bender's in there. Talking up shop, getting all your answers and everything done there. So go sign up if you're not already a part of the Fantasy Star Best Ball sign up code there. James, back to baseball. Let's build some lineups here. Got a couple minutes left in the show. So I don't know. We're already halfway building our cores lineup. So let's just go with cores and kind of build around there. So we have Diaz and Grichuk.
Yep.
We need an SP2.
What's your flavor here? Because we didn't have everyone that we liked. Also, we liked opposing members of teams. I plugged Grayson Rodriguez in 8,300. That was where I personally plugged.
Okay.
But I also could be veered a different direction as well.
I'm gonna go Pablo Lopez.
Okay.
I'm gonna believe in your thinking that he was just unlucky because the strikeouts have been there. Against Washington, only 3 fly balls and he allowed 5 runs. I mean, that's
615 BABIP in that game. 615. That is
super unlucky. So that's where we're going. But that means we have 39, almost 4K a play. So we need some value. We knew there was some value
in the outfield.
Outfield.
Tyrone Taylor, Nelson Velasquez.
Yeah, I'm going to see if any official lineups have come out yet.
We have one. We have the Cardinals lineup. That's the only lineup.
Literally not even close to the lineup that we wanted.
Not at all.
Not at all close to the lineup we wanted to have out. The Cubs projected lineup has Velasquez hitting 9th. I'm fine with it. Let's put
Patrick Corbin Day. That was up top. First,
did we go Trey Mancini or did we go Rowdy Tellez?
I feel like if we're gonna be able to spend up on someone, we probably have to get Adames.
Because we need Adames, right?
That's my thinking as well. That was exactly my thinking.
So Mancini, you think?
Yeah, it gives us 4,200. I think that's a more comfortable spot.
Do we go Wisdom?
That would be smart. See what I did there?
Yeah, got it. Wisdom, smart, Claris. You're right. Second base and then outfield.
I kind of like Albies if we wanted to do a one-off. Only because, but we don't have to. That's not. I'm not fine.
Listen, for me, it was Albies or Bay. I think were the two I was looking at here.
Those are the two I was looking at as well.
I like Albies.
Okay, let's go Albies.
And then $4,100 outfielder, Brian Anderson. Finish it off.
Yes.
Lovely. All right, so that's what we got going on here today, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we're going to be in the Discord until roster lock. That's at 1 o'clock here today. The playbook will be out. We'll have the value article out as well. If you have any questions, get in that Discord. If you're not yet already a member of the Fantasy Alarm family, like we've said here, go down there, fantasyalarm.com/allpro. If you're watching on YouTube, you can click the link in the description. If you're listening to us on Twitter, again, fantasyalarm.com/allpro. Go to promo code MLB50. It's $19.98 a month, and you get a 7-day free trial there, guys. So check it out today. James and I will be back on Friday. Friday slate, no live stream later on today. You can check out everything we got going on the Better Sports Network. Download the free Better Sports Network app on your iTunes and Google Play Store. No better time to join the Better Sports and Fantasy Alarm families than ahead